Well, hello, and welcome to the start of another new season. And we're here on Mondays, the oNiD SimHound oNiD Le Mans series, round one at Silverstone. And you join us for the start of this qualifying session. We've got some cars out on track. There's Zach Silver in Spike, just starting their lap around the circuit. This is round one of the championship. And, well, we're starting off here at Silverstone. Where else better to start than at a new circuit coming to Le Mans Ultimate? We'll also be heading to Portimao, Le Mans, and Monza and Spa, and finishing off at Imola this season. But we've still got a very long way to go till then. Round one of a 6-week championship, and a little bit of a shake-up in commentary booth as well. You've got me here on Mondays, but as always, you've got Ben Myatt. Ben, how are you doing?
Yes, desperately hoping I don't break things as we try and run the stream out tonight. It's good to be back, good to be doing something a bit different. No hypercars this season, still the GT3 field, but equal LMP, ELMS cars and GT2s out on track. And they are very fun cars to drive.
Yeah, no, I mean, they look at it, and I've got to say, I think they're one of the best sounding racing cars in the world. They're just, I mean, they're just loud. They're just loud, and they sound fantastic as Zach Silver now comes into Brooklands and will negotiate his way through Luffield. And they've got the kart circuit. Wow, that's only just been finished as well. So that's really, sorry, that's just me getting a bit nerdy there. That's really impressive. They've added that into the game. That's like they've only just finished that, and so it's kind of cool. I wasn't expecting them to have that little detail in the game as Zach Silver comes across the line to start their first flying lap. But yeah, no, to be honest, I kind of set my focus on the outside of the circuit for this stream, because on ACC I look at the outside of the circuit at Silverstone and think, well, there should be a concrete steps there, but instead there's a grass hill, and it upsets me. It's all Zach Silver. That's going to be a lap. Well, definitely gone.
Let's spare his embarrassments.
Yes.
You might get occasional flashes of my mouse on screen as we go back to the trackside cameras.
Oh, it's all right.
Yeah, in those two championships in 2 weeks for that goal in real life. And I'm sure these guys are hoping to bring another one in oNiD colours as well.
Hopefully so.
Just coming down really committed in these cars as you come out onto the Hanger Straight.
Yeah, no, I'm still here. I'll be honest. I was going to secretly type it to you in chat, but I can still really see Zach Silver on my screen.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah, I mean it's an odd one, but there we go. Daniel Tomlinson, I can see now. Oh, now Petty Yannick. There we go. So Petty Yannick currently, it's all right, to the top of the times. A 1 minute, actually not to the top of the times. There's Cowley's fastest in the LMP2s, 1 minute 46.572 to go fastest in that class. Daniel Tomlinson only 0.411 off of that, and then actually just close behind as well is usual Sunday commentator Angela Scott, currently in well, actually now down to fourth is Adusa Carmenter. That's a very nice lap time by them, has put them up into second position in the DKR liveried LMP2 machinery. That's actually no, there he is now in. It's all right. As there we go, coming through. I always forget. I think that's the Nielsen liveried car. I'm pretty sure they're running in a silver livery this season. So there we go. Disa Carmenter running well, and if that is a Nielsen livery, local team running well at Silverstone, based in Corby. I think Nielsen Racing is. So a good little home result for them here. James Cowley still top though, a 1 minute 46.572. Meanwhile, it's Kiesig. I mean, there was talks of this in practice. He seemed to be absolutely flying in the LMGT3 class, and he seems to be doing that here as well. Currently, is got a 2 minute point 829, so pretty competitive lap time. I'm expecting that to go down still. Tyler Hammer is running in second position, and Anton Tmenga running in third. So interesting to see Tmenga and Cowley split. Obviously, came second and first in the oNiD GT3 Weekender Sunday League last season, so both very competitive runners. But change at the top of the MP2 class. Angela Scott, 1 minute 45.151 to go fastest, as Zach Silver now in second, but about just over 6 tenths off of that time, and then Jacob Heim a further 7 tenths off. So spreading out is the LMP2 class, as Kiesig still leads the LMGT3s by over 2 seconds.
It's good pace from Kiesig. We've seen him really nice good racing in the previous season. He's managing to keep his fuel load and do one stops in ×2 fuel in the GT3 season. Scotty has a bit of a loop there and comes round into the chicane, goes straight back to pits there. In the meantime, Bascar goes to the top of the change of the time.
Yeah, I mean, only a thousandth of a second he's gone top by 0.001. Angela Scott must be kicking themselves, because that is so close. That's just, I don't know, that's just like hitting a pebble somewhere or something like that. It's absolutely, oh, I mean, there's nothing separating them. As
the game doing something to differentiate them, because on the timing tool that Sam Grant is showing the exact same time.
oh wow,
1:45 and 1:50 for both of them, which is
oh.
mad.
That is insane. I mean, over such a long lap as well. Yeah, no, that is absolutely insane by the pair of them to be that close to one another, and also to be then over a half second ahead of the next closest car in Zach Silver. So, yeah, really great pace until Jacob Hein comes in and beats them both by just over 2 tenths to go top of the times. There he is now, just making their way through Copse Corner. And yeah, so good time by Jacob Hein. It's the first driver to break into the 144s. And meanwhile, in the LMGT3s, it's getting a little bit closer. They're starting to catch up a bit with Kiesig here. Tamenga currently just under a second back now from the fastest time. Ben Brown as well, also now up in third position. It was a bit unlucky last season as well. Ben had some close podiums in the LMGT3 Weekender, but they didn't quite go his way in the end, so he'll be hoping to create that this season. Only one podium in the end on Sundays last season, but I think it was a bit of it doesn't tell the full story. Sorry, continue.
He did, however, win the championship in the GTEs on the Monday series in multi-class, so he knows how to make multi-class work for him.
Yeah, indeed so then. So we'll have to see how that works out for him. 1.3 now, as Kiesig's improved their time and has broken into the 1 minute 59s. But Ben, on that second row.
The rail stuff Mercedes there, really pushing hard to try and... I've always felt in most cars it's great to get, the further up the field you are, the better it is. Obviously for starting, but once it starts managing the traffic is as great a skill as anything else.
Yeah, and obviously there are some tight corners around here where if you do catch up with the traffic, they can kind of get in your way. I'd say like into Vale area, part of the circuit club. If you meet some traffic there, that can be a little bit awkward. Village, the Loop, Aintree, that's also quite a hard area to get through the traffic. I would say Brooklands and Luffield as well, but I think they're not as bad. But then actually, I also think about it, Maggots and Beckett's, if you meet a slower LMGT3 there and then LMP2, it's going to be really tricky to get past, let alone if it's a car you're lapping in the same class. So as we see Ben Brown still making their way through the Loop part of the circuit now. Only has this final part to go. We'll go down the Wellington Straight, then into Brooklands and Luffield, and they've even got the houses in the background. Sorry, I've just been caught off again.
It's really good,
It is.
They were boasting it's the most up-to-date scan of Silverstone that anyone's done. So
I mean, like it's. I was there a couple of weeks ago, and like this, they'd only just finished all this stuff, and I mean, especially the go kart track. Literally, they were doing like media shooting during the European Le Mans Series round, and there was go karts actually driving around the infield at one point. But anyway, Ben's going to come across the line. But that just shows how new the go kart circuit is. They hadn't. They're still building the actual building where the go karts are going to be, and they've got the building in the game. It's just incredible. Yeah, I'm just a bit in shock.
It's good, isn't it? There's a lot of reasons to love this game, and the level of detail is definitely one of them. Just coming around, is it going to start another lap, or is it going to
Yeah, so currently fastest at El Bascar, by just under 3 tenths from Jacob Hine now. Angela Scott currently 5 tenths off in third position, and last season's Sunday champion James Cowley currently in fourth position in that class. There's obviously swaps because he was running in GT3s on Sundays last season, is in the LMP2s for this league, so could be maybe a new car, a different driving style, something for him to learn. And well, it's still only 5 tenths off in what's going to be a long race as well. Can easily make up positions from there. Daniel Thompson also running well in fifth position as still Kiesig leads the way, 1 minute 59.614 in the LMGT3s. Atal Baskar comes across the start finish line. I don't think there was an improvement at all, and that might invalidate their lap next time around, as that was definitely all four wheels off the circuit around Cops.
Yeah,
that was the touring car line.
That was definitely the touring car line. Alan, someone down just started trembling.
He was like, just a little shiver, like, oh.
Yeah, it's what I found going from the GT3s to the LMPs is it's easier than going the other way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you go from the LMPs down to the GT3s, suddenly you find it so much more heavy and difficult to get through the corners because you've got used to that responsiveness of the cars. You can lean on the brakes so much, but you find yourself going, why is it not turning in? Why is it still not turning in? And,
He's turned in.
Yeah. And then eventually you run out of road and hit something cataclysmically.
Oh, well, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you wouldn't have thought that going from prototype to prototype would be harder, but yeah, I suppose that's the way sometimes. I know from watching, well, I kind of watching, listening to Alex Wonder talk about it, I know that these cars, it's about trying to hold the momentum through the corners a lot of the time, trying to make sure you kind of carry speed into the corner to just make sure that you don't scrub too much off when you're going around the corner. As Atal Baskas coming around to finish their flying lap, and also the reason this is better as well, look, that is a concrete steps. In ACC that's not concrete steps anyway. As he comes up towards the start finish line, Atal Baskar again completes another lap. I don't think that's an improvement again. Actually no, it wouldn't have been, because obviously we saw them go all four wheels off, so I assume he validated that last time around. But I mean, the times at the moment are kind of, well, they've got a bit standstill.
I think everyone's taking a lot out of their tyres. I know we're not doing super tyre wear, but there's you can take a lot off. Once you get them up to heat, you've got 2 laps to get them down to, and then you're having to just try and get time in. You can see how aggressive that is as it comes down into the corners. Oh, that was a lock-up. And yeah. I'm sure we will see a couple of those happen this evening.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen quite a few in qualifying as well. And I mean, if you have a lockup like that in the race, that could, I mean, well, it could be quite difficult for the driver to Pine to try and get past you as you're kind of spinning across the circuit. So, yeah, it could be quite instant prone. And we've seen a lot of lockups into this corner as well, into Vale. So obviously that's going to be one of the challenging points to keep an eye on. And I remember 5 years ago around Vale section, the right-hander they've just gone through. The LMP2s used to hate that corner because they'd try to go to get on the power around there, and they'd just spin their rears up and actually spin to the inside of the circuit. So yeah, it's not a popular corner in real life as well as in the sim for some of my drivers. Is Jacob Hine currently second place, and oh, they've locked up
That's
as well, and
right.
that's 180.
We were having the discussion. We have our socials in between seasons. We had a all LMP2 social last week, and we were discussing that it might be a viable tactic to take tyres if you have to do a pit stop. And it's very unlikely you're going to be able to fuel save so much that you won't have to pit stop in these cars. So it might actually be worth taking the tyre change on at least two of your tyres, just to help you keep that grip level up towards the end and get rid of any flat spots that you inevitably have.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure they'll have quite a few from well, what we've seen. No disrespect to them, but yeah, there has been a lot of lockups so far. So yeah, no, I can understand why that would work. Obviously, for this series as well, for 20 tires, 5 sets of tires for the weekend of racing, so Rover practice qualifying and the race. So they do have them there as an option. Not too many, but they are there if they deem them well necessary in the race. There's actually Adusa Carpenter has improved. Has just gone into second position by 0.085. So got quite close to Atal Baskar, but sadly not close enough. But a good effort late in the session when we haven't really seen too many improving to slot themselves up into second position. And as well, a great result for them. Coming from, I think, came fifth, I believe, in our Sunday league last season, and I also believe did well. Yeah, came second in our academy series on Wednesdays as well, with 1 win and 3 podiums. So obviously, it's taken a lot from that into this as Christian Kiesig comes across the line. It is an improvement, a 1 minute 59.604, so marginal improvement to try and secure pole position, but that's going to be it for them.
Yep, that is going to be end of the round for qualifying. I'm going to try and get the grid order to work now. Let's have a look. Maybe.
There we go. So row 1, it's Atal Baskar on pole position, followed by Adusa Carpenter, Nielsen Lockout, I believe, as well. Row 2, we've got Jacob Heim in 4th position, Angela Scott. Then when we move on to row 3, it's James Cowley and Zach Silver in Spike. Then as we go on to row 4, we have Daniel Tomlinson and 8th position of Janusz Kanovac. Then row 5, we've got Charlie Morgan and Johan Muller in 10th position. Row 6 is Marco Pizzuti, and 12th has gone the way of Alex Wood. Then on row 7, we have Frank Vevic, and 14th is Stan Steffens. Then on row 8, we have Manny Steiner, and 16th is Jarrett Page. Then on to row 8, and it's pole position for Christian Kiesig in 17th position overall, and 18th is the way of Ben Brown, so that should be interesting to watch. Then we've got John Metcalf in 19th, 3rd position in the class, and Hassaf in 4th. Then Tyler Hammer is in 5th. Anton Semenga is in 6th position. Then 7th is Daniel Yosten, and Johnny Ashley is in 24th overall. Row 13, we have Fran Dorich and Christopher Bell in 26th overall. Then in row 14, we've got Elliot Lewis and Max Farrell in 28th. Row 15, it's Andy Hearn, and 30th is the Aston Martin of Petty Jelinek. Then row 16, and our final starter, Dean Smith, in 31st. And that rounds out our grid and should nicely lead us onto our, well, half a bit of a formation lap as we start from the Wellington straight. And there's all the LMP2s. The LMGT3s don't start until, well, just at the back of the straight there. You can just see them within shot. But Ben, how would you deal with this start? Still there's no real breaking points really until Stowe. So how would you deal with this?
It gives you a longish time to start, no, but it doesn't feel like you've got a lot of time to get those tyres on, and they are going to be very cold going into that first corner. It makes you start to line up very early, so these guys are going to have to concentrate very hard, and To be honest, I'm hoping we're not going to see a Hamilton Verstappen moment into turn 1 here, but wouldn't be too surprising.
Yeah, I mean, if it is, I hope it's at the back of the field, because if there's a car in the middle of the track around cops, that is a brown trouser moment. That it really is. You don't want that at all. But here we go then, for just about to start 6 weeks of racing here in the oNiD Le Mans series. And here we are at Silverstone, and hopefully this sets us off how the rest of the season wants to go, and we're green for the start of this race. And it's, well, actually it's the kind of change up the front. The two Nielsen cars have fallen back and up into up into second position. I think that's Angela Scott as they make their way through into Magnussen Beckett's, and it seems like we've got through this part of the circuit all very clearly. One of the oNiD cars up into third as it currently stands, and they'll make their way onto the start finish straight. You can still see some cars filtering through in the background, nearly 3 wide as we come onto the straight between a couple of the LMP2s in the background there, but it seems to have been a pretty clean start. Atel Baskar leads the way. Jacob Hein just under a second behind. James Cowley's moved their way up into third. Adusa Kamta has lost 2 positions from where they started into fourth, and Angela Scott down to fifth as well, and actually looks like they're under a little bit of pressure. Christian Kiesig still leading the way as the yellow flag comes out, as Ben Brown 1.5 seconds back. So the Porsche driver has really made that start work for them well, already extending out, as Tyler Hammer as well, just behind Brown, as Metcalf and Nazarian are in 5th position, running out the top 5. Down the inside goes Cowley. Yeah, so they are right with one another, Jacob Heim and James Cowley. Cowley has a fink up the inside there into Brooklands, where the gap wasn't really there for him to have a look at as they make their way back onto the start-finish straight, well, the old start-finish straight. Obviously, the European Le Mans Series run from that old pit lane, not the wing. So as they now go through Cops Corner, it's still Atel Baskar 2 seconds up nearly in the lead now from Jacob Hein. And James Cowley are just about 6/10 back from Hein, and Scotty and Tomlinson close together in the background as well. As again, Kiesig really extending that gap out at the front. Nearly 3 seconds is the gap to the leader in the LMGT3 class. And well, you can see the LMP2s a lot closer, a lot of them within slipstreaming potential as they come into So Corner, but not going to be any close enough there for James Cowley to get past Jacob Hein, as they will now come onto the brakes and turn it into Vale Corner. And it's there's no real kind of anyone in overtaking proximity at the moment. The closest seems to be these two fighting for second, but I think Baskar's made a mistake. He's lost a lot of time, and actually it seems like Jacob Hein could be in with a chance of taking the lead very, very soon. I don't know if you saw anything there, Ben.
No, I didn't see much going on there, but it's definitely pushing on. There are people fighting down in the GT, so that's that is cool, but that's caused a bit of ructions. Tyler Hammer was on the back of it, has had to back slightly with that definite river that he's got there. He has shown Metcalf, who was one of the standouts of the academy last season, chasing him down from P2. In the meantime, Houston has just he is parted off into the distance.
Yeah, I mean, John Metcalf, 4 wins last season in the academy, was the champion for the season in the LMGT3 class. So yeah, knows how to pedal one, and is showing that up into 4th position from the start. Has Nazarian behind, but a good gap to them, and about a second to find to Hammer running up ahead of them as we make our way through. We've got Nazarian under some pressure from the Dinosaur car. Oh, Johnny Ashley. But actually looking to the inside into Cops, that would be a brave move. This isn't able to get there. A little bit. I like that. It's kind of like a bit. I want to say Spike, but that's the Dragon. That's the LMP2. I've forgotten what the flipping the LMGT3 version of the
It's
Spike's called by
Rexy,
AMA.
I think.
Rexy. That's it. That's it. It's kind of a bit like Rexy, but sponsored by Monster. But
All over
as
the back of Offset there.
he was indeed, and luckily I think that actually that was probably a bit premature because it's kind of meant he's lost out coming onto the start finish straight here. Ashley currently about 2 attempts back from his fellow Porsche driver. Kind of looked to the inside. You could kind of tell he was thinking about it, but no real opportunity then. As Arian just slid himself through the corner pretty easily and is defending him off as one of the LMP2s in the background there. He's going to try and make their way past in a minute, so that's going to make this battle kind of interesting. Johnny, that may work to Johnny's advantage, may not work to Johnny's advantage, but we'll have to see as Nazarian still leads the way.
That's recovering Jared Page and that into the strife. So he's trying to make his way back from the field now.
Actually, this could. It really is. It's all gosh. I thought he was going to send it from back there. Then I was thinking, oh gosh, that's very bold. Also, thank you, Ben, who's I think taking part in this race for the subscription. 53 months he's been subscribed for. So that well, I don't know how long that is in years, but I know that's a very, 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 very long time. So thank you, Ben. There we go. There goes Jarrett Page. Pass down the inside, so that means he's got out of the way of that battle. Has slightly caused maybe Nazarian to go off from line, but it doesn't seem to have affected him too much. And actually, these two are going to have second place in the Sunday leagues last season. Anton Semenga up behind them. So yeah, he took 2 wins last season in the Sunday league and was really an outsider for the championship going into the final round. But it's a little bit down the order compared to where usually what is in the Sunday League in the LMGT3. It's down in 7th, but it could easily make up 2 positions here if these guys make a mistake as they go through Maggots and Beckett's. And all hands are out going in the LMP2 class.
Yeah, sudden jump away. I apologise, but I saw this forming on the timing screen, and it's a lot of cars in close proximity. And this is very much the battle for leads. So he's currently with Angela Scotty, who is fighting 2 with Dan Thomas and John and Zach Silver.
It's a fight and a half because they're all right behind. There you go, Zach Silver bringing the back of the pack through. Still 57 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this race, and is there going to be an overtaking opportunity here for James Cowley, who is right stuck in behind these guys as they make their way up towards Chapel. Now, I don't think they're going to be close enough onto the straight to go for a move. We'll have to see. They come now into the braking zone. And actually, I beg your pardon, it's Daniel Tomlinson running in 5th position behind Angela Scott. So that's the one that's putting them under pressure. So as they make their way up towards Vale. Now, Scotty looking to the inside of Hein. No real move available for them there. And the thing is, Angela Scott's got to be very careful here because it could easily lose out a number of places if they get their overtake wrong, or if Hein is able to defend them off, because it will then open the door to Daniel Tomlinson, which then in turn will open the door to last season's AMS champion in the Sunday League, Jai Morgan, and then Zach Silver as well. So really a lot for Angela Scott to think about here. It does look to the outside going through the loop section part of the circuit, but really hard to get the traction down, even for a move down the inside there, let alone the outside. So as they make their way back down the start-finish not even start-finish straight, down the Wellington straight into the braking zone for Brooklands, and it's too wide in the background, I think, between Silver and Morgan. And Morgan's off. He's locked up into Brooklands. He was sideways there off of the circuit. He's been able to gather it up, so actually hasn't lost too much time considering he was completely sideways coming into the corner. So that's a great save from Charlie Morgan to make sure he kept it on the circuit, as it has meant that Silver's made up a position up to 6th now, as Daniel Tomlinson just to head up the road, but a little bit more of a gap now because I think he had to try and avoid the sideways Charlie Morgan.
Tomlinson's found himself in a wants to get back on the underneath the rear wing of Angela Scott and getting that front P3. And Scotty looking for a move there up ahead of them. Not quite able to get it done at the end of the hangar straight there. Just going to have the run. And they're going to the chicane. Just losing out slightly, which is how to get out the snapshot.
Yeah, I mean, it's very frustrating because they're able to get so close, but it just doesn't seem to be working for us. So as they now come up towards the start of this fast section of the Stoke through Abbey, then through Farm, this could another overtaking corner coming into Village, but again, it's not really. It's not really close enough. I mean, in the background, it seems like close enough because I think they're actually too wide between Zach Silver and Daniel Tomlinson. I think Tomlinson's just about stayed ahead. Yes, he has, but actually under a lot of pressure now. He's going to defend to the inside as they make their way into Brooklands. It's going to be Zach Silver to the outside, which will in turn give him the inside for Luffield. But he's not been able to make that work. And it's a lock-up. He's off the circuit. He's going to hit where he is. He's into the tyres. That is Daniel Tomlinson off the road. Down a number of positions and frontwards in.
Let's have a look at what happened there. Let's see if we can get the onboard. Comes in. Dan was running a very aggressive setup during quality. Oh, I think just a little bit too heavy on the throttle. And the car just sort of plonked into the wall, unfortunately.
See him losing the rear, and there was no way he was going to get that into the right-hander. And yeah, sadly, Daniel Tomlinson, that's lost him quite a few places. He's now down to 11th, was running ahead of Silver in 5th, and actually was putting Angela Scott under a little bit of pressure. That's actually good for them now, because it does mean that they can just focus on Jacob Hine for now, so that's good for them. Actually getting quite close to the front of the field as well, less than a second separating Baskar and Cowley again. So Cowley coming back at Atal Baskar, and here comes the traffic, and that's going to present an opportunity for Lee to split the BMW. They're still side by side as they go to finish. He's been squeezed by the BMW. The BMW's gone a little bit into the rear of James Cowley. That's meant that Cowley's lost a little bit of time. Are they going to be able to get through Aintree? No, it's been held up a little bit by the McLaren as they now make their way down towards the Brooklands here. Let's see who's traffic going to work for best. I think it's going to be Baskar, because it does look like Cowley's been held up slightly. Baskar trying to go around the outside at Luffield. Let's see if will it hold up Cowley at all. It does a little bit, but to be fair, both of them quite lucky considering how packed up that LMGT3 field is to still be so close to one another. You can see both of them trying to split the traffic. They know how important this part of the race is, because one misjudgment, they're either into the back of a LMGT3 or they're going to be stuck behind one, and that's going to give the place to the person behind. Oh, nearly into the rear goes James Cowley onto the brakes. He's really, you could tell at that moment he nearly had all the brakes on there, because he was like, oh no, I'm going straight into the back of Atal.
That was very well just braking, because what he had locked up there, they would have been dead. That would have been gone. They are really pushing hard and not giving all that. I think that was a little tap on the side of Johnny Ashton there as they went through.
I think it was indeed. There was a little bit of a touch of carbon fibre.
I'm sure.
Yeah. 1 week ban. No, it's Pizzuti has actually DNF'd from the race just then, so I'm not sure what's gone on there, but that's our first DNF'er, I believe, well, at least in the LMP2 class, through past Lightning McQueen, and now up towards Abbey again, into Village actually, I beg my own pardon. Down the inside goes James Cowley, and they're nearly past all the LMGT3 field. I think that's Ben Brown just up ahead, so that actually should mean then they've got a gap to Christian Kiesig in the Porsche just up the road. So that's the worst of the traffic over for the pair of them, and Baskar's dealt with that well, and actually I think out of the two he's dealt with it the best. 1.2 seconds currently is the gap. I think when they came across the traffic it was down to half a second, so it seems like Baskar's actually been able to open that gap thanks to the traffic a little bit.
That's slightly low as a result of having something happen to Angela Scotty. That's a very traffic. That's 2 LEDs altogether.
Yeah, that's an interesting one as well. And I think Atal Baskar's made a mistake as well, because he's dropped a third. He's dropping down the order like a rock. And James Cowley's taken the lead as these two coming together. So that's Hind still, well, I think that was Hind. At least it looked like it was rejoining the circuit. And actually, Cowley re-overtaken again by the looks of it. Actually, I'm getting all lost now. But it seems like it's all right. It seems like Cowley still, according to our time screen anyway, Cowley still in the lead of the race, as Baskar now down to 4th in the race as well. So it seems like Baskar's made some sort of mistake somewhere. There he is behind Ben Brown. Okay. Okay, good. So yeah, Baskar somewhere over that made a mistake. Now 17 seconds behind Cowley, and you can see there was a little bit, some ripples on the front end of that car. So it seems like he's had an off somewhere, and actually is now James Cowley made a mistake. The gap came down a lot there, like he'd had a little bit of a moment. Doesn't look too bad though, still 14 seconds ahead. The gap was 17. Charlie Morgan now falls behind, and actually I think that's because they're off. Oh, and it's back end damage. They've lost the rear wing, and it seems like they've collected one of it. It was a black and white Mercedes running behind, as well. That's going to not be great for Charlie Morgan, and as you can see, hasn't got much rear end grip anymore, so spun to the inside of the circuit, and well, I think we shall. There he is, running by himself. There's Lightning McQueen running up ahead, and actually that Mercedes not anywhere near. Oh, he's gone onto the grass. Oh, he's completely locked up, back onto the second, and bang, ka-chow, into the rear of Charlie Morgan. And I think the Mercedes we saw off has actually had his own moment, as there you go in the background, completely facing the wrong way as they came into village. Luckily, I think that Mercedes a lot luckier than Charlie Morgan, didn't get collected, and therefore meant they've probably only got some very, very flat spotted tyres, probably more like a cube than a circle right now for them. But as you can see, Charlie Morgan, back to live images, has made it their way to the pits. But obviously you can see a lot, these LMP2s seem to be a little bit tricky for some of our drivers at the moment, and it is giving us some errors to watch, as running side by side here, we have one of the oNiD cars running with Alex Wood. Okay, so Wood. Yeah, well, up in 9th, well, it's a good result. Inside the top 10 out of starting 16 runners, so they're doing well, and obviously running up behind Tomlinson here as well, so not bad at all. And all off to the inside, is that Bascar? No, it's the Dudes of Carpenter, so they're obviously struggling in this race as well, down to 9th for them as well, so really not a great start for some of our drivers near the front of the field, as Wood looks to the inside on Tomlinson. Tomlinson's aware of it though, and is able to sweep around the outside and hold on to the position, as I'll tell you what, those sausage curbs on the right hand side of the circuit, very dangerous for Formula cars. I've seen them launch people before in real life. Pushing a little bit too early and not kind of bedding the tyres back in. So we've still got just under 46 minutes now still to go in this race, and it's still James Cowley in the way now from Zach Silver, and Atal Bascar back up into 3rd at the moment, as Jacob Hine running in 4th. We're currently looking at the battle between Alex Wood and Dan Tomlinson, 7th and 8th, as they Oh, they're right behind each other here. Alex looking for a move, not going for it though. Had a little kind of thought, should I go to the inside there at Abbey? Probably shouldn't, as now as they come into Village onto the brakes and turning the car into Europol up against the oNiD liveried car as they make their way through the loop. Who's going to get the best traction out of the corner? To be honest, I think that's pretty even between the pair of them. But Alex Wood is going to have the slipstream as they come down the straight. So again, this is where they went for the move last time, and Tomlinson's aware of it. He's defending to the inside, Wood to the outside, and he's just not able to get alongside. He's going to have a little bit of an opportunity to cut back, but not really any space. And now as they make their exit out of Luffield or back onto the old start-finish straight through Woodcote, it's still Dan Tomlinson that leads the way. But it's interesting to see Tomlinson was further up the order, but Wood just seeming maybe just better tyres at this stage in the race. Oh, took a lot of the inside little rumble strip there.
Very aggressive line, wasn't it?
It was indeed. So they go through Maggots, Beckett's, and now into Chapel. It's still Wood not as strong through there by the looks of it, actually, as Tomlinson's been able to open that gap to about just now a second between the pair of them. So that's actually going to keep Dan Tomlinson a little bit safe for a while now. So that's working out nicely. Yeah, so let's see what Anton Semenga can do. Both of these very quick drivers in the LMGT3 class, as you can see them now, Ashley and Semenga fighting for 5th in their respective classes as they head down the straight now into the braking zone. As you can see Anton Semenga slightly closing into Ashley. Let's see, will there be a move into Vale here? Let's see. No, it seems that Anton has decided against it. Is trying to find a way through, but I mean it's quite hard to find a gap for a large Mustang like that to squeeze alongside. So they'll go back onto the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight and will make their way up towards Abbey and Farm. He's really going to need to get these corners well, maybe to set himself up for a move into Village as they make their way through. And as they can see, James Cowley is going to start making their way through, I think, or at least one of the oNiD cars is going to start making their way past. So they're going to have these LMP2s to try and deal with as they will turn into the loop now. The LMP2 trying to find a way past, will try to go to the outside, realised there was no room, and actually whoever's in that LMP2, it's really holding them up as they now make their way up on past these two. So there they go through, and actually Anton Semenga onto the brakes isn't close enough to get the move done into Brooklyn. So Ashley runs a little bit wide, but it hasn't presented too much of an opportunity.
Sometimes you can take advantage of you have to just kind of back off a little bit to give each other space. Sometimes if you're a bit cheeky, you can use that to get an opportunity to end it there.
Yeah, and
this is not too cars. I think it's the shortest third season to get the head around the car.
I mean, doing a decent job of it so far, running, well, I think inside that top 5 in their class, but Semenga putting them under a lot of pressure as things currently stand. So as they start making their way down the hangar straight into the braking zone for Stowe, again, it just seems like Anton's kind of, he's got a bit of a pace advantage, but not really kind of one of those situations where he hasn't got enough to try and look for a move. It's a little bit awkward out to him. Yeah.
Put himself in a position where he's going to the carriage.
Yeah, and it's really, he's kind of struggling. He's kind of close where he doesn't want to be close, and then when he gets to the overtaking spots, that seems to be where he falls back. And again, he's right on the rear of Johnny here, but I mean, he's going to have to try and set himself up for a decent exit onto this straight. Let's see if the slipstream comes into any sort of effect here. As you say, it's not really giving him much so far. He's going to try and get behind Johnny. But the thing is, he's just not really getting that much from it coming into Brooklands now. He's close up a little bit to the rear, but not enough to kind of have any sort of look up the inside or any sort of move. So yeah, he's right on Johnny's rear as they make their way now out of Luffield. But again, it's just it doesn't seem to be close enough to get the move done. And I mean, he could really try and be aggressive here and do it into Cobbs. Is he going to try and do it into Cobbs? I think Johnny thinks he is because he's gone defensive. He's put the car to somewhat in the middle of the circuit. Tomenga's taken a wider line. He's going to try and go around the outside or maybe even cut back in. But no, Johnny actually still keeps ahead. Tomenga he's nearly pushing Johnny through this half of the lap, but he's just not close enough to get alongside.
That's a good exit out of track there for Tomenga. Very aggressive, so we can see the splitter kicking up sparks in the compression. Goes to the inside. A bit of a drawback. Makes the move.
Yeah, I mean, you said he had to get his elbows out, and he certainly did that. He got a little bit aggressive, and the move works. As all Johnny, I think, thought about coming back there, or at least both of them left it very late to break into that corner. But yeah, eventually has got the move done, and that puts Anton Tomenga up into 5th in class. Still Kiesig leading the way in that field, and 15th overall. And Cowley doing a great job at the front of the field, just being consistent. 14 seconds now ahead of Zach Silver, who's under a little bit of pressure from the former race leader, Asal Baskar, who's running right up behind him now. So as they start to make their way onto the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight, the gap has opened up a little bit, but it's Baskar, Hine and Silver all together for seconds, because I mean, as you see at the moment, Hines still a little bit off of this battle, but once Baskar and Silver start fighting, that'll bring well and truly bring Jacob Hine into it. Do you think he has like a spare fuel tank somewhere? Yeah, I mean, might be a smart chance for them to do that. Stops them battling, and I would say puts them out into a clean bit of circuit. But we will just have to see where he does come out after this stop. But I mean, it could be, if it's a wide space of circuit, it could be a wide thing if Jacob Hine and Baskar start fighting. But I think Baskar might have legs on Hine. The gap, well, actually they are quite close together, so actually it might not. So if those two start fighting and Silver's got some clean air to just kind of pump some laps in here, it could work out in his favour, just going a little bit earlier than the pair of them. So here comes Silver, starting to make their way slowly out of the old pit lane. We'll get to the Orange Marshal there, onto the power, but again, no tyre warmers, so they're going to be some very, 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 very cold tyres coming out of the pit box. So he's going to have to try and warm them up over this lap, and it's going to be not the greatest couple of corners to come into with cold tyres, but it seems Silver's negotiating them okay. Runs a little bit wide out of Beckett's, but it seems to be okay coming up onto Chapel. And the important thing is, it looks like, well, they've got out just ahead of those LMGT3s, I mean, so it should mean they have a nice bit of the circuit to keep pushing. He has gone with the strategy you were saying they were discussing last week about maybe just taking tyres because of, well, as you say, these cars that can be treated to drive, and a lot of lockups happen, so there will be a lot of flat spotting. So yeah, no, that's Silver's obviously decided that that's the strategy to go with. Cowley's lost some time at the front of the field, actually looking at it. Cowley 12 seconds only in the lead now as Muller starts falling down the order, down into 10th there. So I think it may have been a brief mistake as the yellow flags clear themselves. As into the pit lane comes Steffens as well in 9th. Silver obviously making their way through. That will see him back up into inside the top 10 in this field with just about 35 minutes to go.
Have a look and see what happened to his Muller there. Let's compound his misery by replaying exactly what happened. No, that's VAR, isn't it? Just sitting on the inside.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just kind of Miranda's overtaken him, got the power a little bit too early. As so, yeah, no, bit of a shame there, but has carried on going after that one. Is still waiting for the cars to come in as we see Anton Temenga now on to the back of John Metcalf. So Lightning McQueen running ahead of Rocket here as this is the battle for 4th in the LMGT3 class as Anton Temenga looking for a move here. It's gonna, I mean, we saw they were pretty strong into this part of the section of the circuit, so we'll have to see how the BMW is compared to is it as nimble as the Porsche. We'll see now as they make their way into Maggots and Beckett's, and it seems to be a bit more planted than the Mustang is. The gap opens up a little bit, but as they go into Beckett's now, actually Anton Temenga nearly into the rear of the BMW, and the BMW runs a little bit wider off of that corner. Is it going to give the Mustang a bit of a run? I don't think it has. So despite a bit of a squirrely moment there for Anton Temenga and a little bit of a wide moment for John Metcalf, it does mean that they've actually both kind of balanced each other out and aren't too close to one another, and they're both kind of catching the Ferrari who's just up ahead. I think that might be Tyler Hammer.
It is indeed, yeah. With his hashtag blessed livery.
Hashtag blessed.
Oh,
I mean, what a great, I mean, he's on the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight now, so hashtag blessed on the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight.
Yeah. Best thing is about this livery, and the reason why it's taking a livery from Citroen C1 Cup car to
I mean, a Citroen C1 and a Ferrari, I don't see the difference. I think they're both on the same. Like I could go from a C1 to a Ferrari. I think they're the same budget. But then, no, that's great. To be honest, because it's white and red though, kind of you wouldn't even tell because it's kind of just nice Ferrari colours. It does, very kind of mulberry. So it's there you go, a C1 and a Ferrari, the exact same car. Just prepare your livery on the C1 and then transport it to your Ferrari. There you go. You do the old kind of touring car tell Metcalf to kind of, I'm not going to overtake you, keep pushing kind of thing, like, because the thing is you don't want to start fighting each other because that is just Tyler Hammer just escape up the road a little bit. Oh, not if he does that though, very sideways, and they're all even more sideways for Metcalf. I think Anton Temenga was into his rear a bit there, but luckily both of them gathered.
You've got to say that the two cars to me, but he's definitely a distinguished car. He's very really committed into those corners to try and make moves forward.
Yeah, both of them still look like they're really getting closer now to Tyler Hammer. So this could have easily become a three-way fight for actually third. So this would be the final podium spot in the LMGT3 class, and they're going to have an LMP2 to deal with at the moment. It's an oNiD class, so I'm going to guess because we haven't seen one for a while. I assume that's I'm going to take a shot on Cowley.
He's
Oh, it's Tomlinson. Okay, so Scotty and then Aduza Carpenter, Daniel Tomlinson, then Aduza Carpenter to come through, and actually that's going to make things a little bit awkward for Anton Semenga, and has actually lost him a little bit of use for Metcalf, who is kind of issues with the LMP2s unless Aduza Carpenter dives down the inside. No, he doesn't. So again, a little bit of traffic foiling the attack of Anton Semenga there, and it does mean Metcalf can focus a little bit on Tyler Hammer again, because the gap is opening up between the LMP2 and the LMGT. He's close, three of them.
He's getting very close. He's getting closer. Not as close as Anton Semenga gets. It's making dropped off by about a second. He's made most
So obviously he yeah, I was going to say, obviously he has the superior pace of these three. It's just Metcalf is doing a good job of holding Anton Semenga up. And actually the thing is as well, Johnny's not too far off in the background still. He's there. He's definitely, he can see these guys, and he's going to still be pushing to catch up with them as well. So it easily could have a 4-car fight here for third, which is, I mean, great for the first round. It sets us up well for the rest of the season to have such a close LMGT3 class. And also close in the LMP2s as well. It's just obviously Cowley's just been a lot more consistent compared to everyone else, and that's why he does have the margin he has in this race, because he just hasn't made a mistake so far. So as we come through the corners now, we've got Muller and Silver in the LMP2 class, who are going to start making their way past these guys. And oh no, Muller's gone off, and actually Semenga's up the inside, and Semenga's through. I don't know if that was because of the LMP2 caught Metcalf off. I think Metcalf may have saw the bullet of an LMP2 coming past him on the right hand side and thought, no, I don't want to turn into the corner now, and that gave Anton Semenga the opportunity to pants down the inside into what even corner was that? Into Village Corner, and meant that he got the move done. So yeah, great opportunist drive there by Anton Semenga to kind of catch the Lightning McQueen liveried car off guard, and it does mean Semenga can set their sights on Tyler Hammer now, as Zach Silver's going to try and make his way past these guys, and hopefully a little bit cleaner.
The question is though, how do you get the flex on that to make
Ooh. I didn't see that. I think we're gonna have to go to like VAR with that one and go back to see when it came out, because I don't know when it came out, but yeah, no, could have well have been. I mean, that MP2 car was going off at such a pace, it could have well have come out when he went past. Metcalf obviously fallen back a little bit, and actually into the grasps a little bit now of Ashley as well. So I mean, obviously, but the thing is as well, the good news is for Metcalf, he did seem, well, before this, to have more superior pace than what Tyler Hammer's been showing. So hopefully, if Hammer's able to hold up, Semenga can find himself back on right back onto the rear of these guys as well. So again, look, just how close, 4 cars for third. Brilliant if that comes to fruition. But we'll just have to keep an eye on them. Kieslig's still leading the way, and Brown in second, so strong start to the season for the pair of these guys. And yeah, we'll just have to see what happens with these two. It looks like Anton Semenga is right on the rear of Tyler Hammer as they go through farm and into village, but just not close enough yet to get that move.
That is a very definitive flag out there. That is sexy.
No. Was it an oNiD car? Who's
I think it might be Charlie Morgan. Let's have a look.
Yeah, Morgan currently a lap down from the leader in 13th, and had already run wide village, and yeah, he's just lost the rear. Oh dear. Luckily I mean, most of the time you do say brake, but luckily did keep it rolling until you ended up off the circuit and out the way of those LMGT3s that were just coming through on the racing line. So good awareness by Charlie Morgan, but yeah, not going too great for them either, just showing how hard it is to, well, I mean, keep these LMP2 cars in the circuit. It's just a challenge to get to the end rather than have a clean race. So it's currently still fourth and ahead of Vivek, and he's going to have another go at trying to get past some of these guys, and he's going to try and get through past Metcalf now. Metcalf off the circuit, and yeah, they go onto straight. There you are. Oh, have we?
Just had Kovac's DNF.
Okay, Kovac. Let's see what's happened.
No, that's not quite far enough back for the replay to pick up there, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, as we're looking at the pit lane, I think I've said this fact before, but McLaren came to the F1 one year, and they had a tile sponsor, and they put tiles on McLaren's floor, but they never took them back up. So if you go to one random pit lane, I can't remember which one it is, in Silverstone old pit lane, there is a tiled floor, whereas the rest is all a concrete floor.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like all green tiles. It's a really nice floor.
That's somewhere in here. I'm not going to go looking for it now.
No.
That went by mountains. But we got back up to James Kennedy. He's very much in the distance here. 20 seconds to go. Hasn't pitted yet. 25 minutes to go. I think there's probably going to be a pit stop at some point.
Yeah, you'd have to think so, and I mean, I'm not sure if Atal Baskar's pitted yet though, because the gap between them, that's stayed about the same, like not within a pit stop, and I think Hind's about the same. Not sure. I think Scotty's gone up. Oh, top five. Okay, so Tomlinson, Scotty, Hind, Baskar, and Cowley still to come in. Let's see if James Cowley comes in this time. So he has to come through around Luffield now, onto the straight again. And no, just stays out again, so obviously not into the pit lane just yet. So as they come down the start finish straight, I'm going to go off top here as well. They don't open this many grandstands for the actual European Le Mans series. They're all open. What's this about? I just yeah, well, they accidentally left the door open to the Maggots and Beckett's one, so people, a big crowd of people did end up there on the qualifying day, but yeah, we'll look past that. Yeah, so anyway, back to this. Asel Baskar, James Cowley, who we still follow in the lead of this race, as another yellow comes out. Jacob Hine has come into the pit lane, so it's only Tomlinson, Scotty, Baskar, and Cowley we still wait for to come in for their pit stops in this race. And James Cowley's going to come onto the back of this LMGT3 battle following him a few moments ago. As there you go, there's 6th place, Johnny Ashley. And an LMP2 car running slowly to the right hand side of the circuit. I think that's been lapped, so I assume I'm going to take a guess and say that's probably Morgan. Yep. So yeah, obviously he's had another mistake to end up behind those LMGT3s, although he's at least come into the pit lane. Oh, Anton Semenga's off after actually going up into a podium position as well. Anton Semenga has spun off to the right hand side of the circuit. It's rejoined again, so he's actually only lost one position. So that's actually quite impressive again, how considering they were sideways and off the circuit to the right hand side, and facing the wrong direction to where they needed to be going, has got it back onto the circuit in 4th in the LMGT3 class. But I would be very surprised if those tyres aren't very, very flat spotted. So Ashley's gone ahead and that's another car off on the inside. Is that James Cowley? Because the gap's coming down. No, I don't think it is. The gap the gap is considerably coming down between him and Baskar, but no, he's in the pit lane, that's why. So that was probably Charlie Morgan then. It's definitely an oNiD liveried car. So as they make their way through Copse Corner and back up towards Max and Beckett's, it's still Ashley leading away from Metcalf, and Tvenga still seems to be outpacing these guys because they aren't well, it doesn't seem visually like they're catching him too much. There he is, just ahead of them in shot. There goes the Ferrari of Tyler Hammer. There you go, there's the Mustang as well, just going through. And then here comes Ashley and John Metcalf. So as they come under the Total Energy bridge there, as some blue flags come out again, as some cars come through. I think that one of them's silver, I believe, and then there's one of the LMP2s, I think that is maybe it's Bascar. I'm not too sure. Actually no. Was it Deuce Carpenter? Could be Carpenter. There's too many similar liveries.
It's one of the problems with the limited amount of liveries that because we get a lot of people on the same one.
Oh no. Who else is wearing the Spike livery? Maybe Dan Stevens. There we go. So that's 8th, and that must be Steiner ahead of him. Or actually, maybe because he's a lap down, it could actually as well be Atel Baskar. Who knows? But as he comes, actually, yeah, I think it is Atel Baskar because whoever it is ahead of him isn't on the same lap. As Jacob Hine and Zach Silver are actually together on the circuit. This is the battle for 4th in their classes. They will come into the braking zone for Vale now. It seems like Jacob Hine is getting closer to Silver, but and I think both of these guys have stopped now. So Hine was still coming a few laps ago. So I think it's only Tomlinson, Cowley, and Baskar still to come in. Oh, that's it. So yeah, so only Tomlinson now who needs to come in for their stop. So there we go, final stopper down into the pits with just under 19 minutes now to go. Johnny _459 in chat. Today I learned that I cannot do a pit stop in this game. Oh, that's not good. Yes. So that suggests either they speed or did they not put in the right information.
It's showing a penalty tag next to his name on the time machine, so I suspect that was a post-pit stop drive-through there.
Yeah, so, well, very, very unfortunate, but I mean, a lovely view shot there of the old pit lane and some of the actual nice details of the track behind it as well, some of the trucks and facilities inside the Silverstone venue.
Instead.
As James Cowley, not James Cowley, wrong driver, Johnny Ashley and John Metcalf, the Battle of the Johns, is going to start, well, ignite soon, because actually Johnny got through, but it just hasn't been able to open the gap. Still less than a second between the pair of them, nearly less than half a second there going into Brooklyn. So these two really fighting with one another as James Cowley resumes the lead, but Baskar now down to a 9-second gap. So that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on with about 17 minutes now and 30 seconds to go in the opening round of the oNiD Le Mans series as they make their way through Copse Corner and again up towards Marks and Beckett. And well, both these guys who were commenting were pretty nimble through here. I think Johnny seemed the more nimble when he was fighting with Anton Semenga, so we'll have to see if he opens up the gap. Doesn't seem so though, as Metcalf seems to actually be really closing in. BMW seems really nice and planted at this point in the race and seems to be putting him under a lot of pressure. You can see Anton Semenga gap has opened up indefinitely ahead of them, and actually Clement Hammer comes out, has actually ended up behind them, I assume maybe after a pit stop or some sort of mistake. I'm going to say a mistake because I don't think he could have got through the pits that quickly. So yeah, actually this is the battle now for 4th in the NMG. Oh yeah, so yeah, battle for 4th in the NMGT3 class. Oh no.
Something's happened to him. It's about 5 seconds. In fact, he's dropped behind Scott. Let's have a nosy.
That only just happened, so suggesting that he was still recovering from that, which allowed Scotty to get on through. Let's see what's happened behind. And is it going to be another mistake at the loop here, just going into the left-hander? Is he going to just spin the tyres up again? Oh no, he's a little bit of a kiss. I think it's one of the car. Is it Wood? It was. I think Wood.
Frank Vevic, I think it is.
Oh, Frank.
It is.
Well, we have seen Frank Vevic spin the rears up through this section of the circuit before. He's just got ahead. Oh,
That's
and he's gone out. He's a UFO. But he's had.
Yeah, he's had a spin.
Oh, another one. So that's not good for Frank Vevic. Really struggling with this part of the circuit because it's again the same corner, just a little bit earlier. Well, not the same corner. It's the corner before, to be exact. It's Village, but same section of the circuit. So it seems that Frank Vevic is somewhat struggling at this part of the race, and or especially on that part of the circuit. As and MP2s. The gap coming down between Cowley and Bascar, according to my time screen, it was 9 seconds. Now is just dipping into the 8-second mark, so that's fluctuating a bit, but actually now back up to 9 seconds. So that might just show a time screen thing. Is well, a bit of a gap now between. Okay, so yeah, Bascar on a charge and still has 14 minutes now and 25 seconds to go in the race. So I mean this is the thing with multi-class stuff though, you can lose a number of seconds just catching an LMGT3 in the wrong part of the circuit. Mother endurance, I like to call it, because it can either give you time or it can take away the time. And in this case maybe taking away the time from James Cowley, as now the gap has come down by like 1.5 seconds from when Bascar had come out the pit lane. So yeah, it seems Bascar seems to be on the money at the moment, but himself does have a big gaggle of LMGT3 cars to overtake. He's got Anton Semenga and then another BMW up ahead, so he's going to have to take a wider line, go a little bit wider around Luffield. Not really the worst corner to catch an LMGT3 on those. It doesn't really cost them too much time, as they actually all start to make their way into the pit lane for some of their stops. So that was Anton Semenga and the BMW deciding to come in, as through Cops now comes Atel Bascar, and actually the gap, well, it says up to 9 seconds, but I'm choosing not to believe it because it's going up quite a bit. So that just could be the nature of the section of the part of the circuit we're on. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. Actually, on the lower screen, 7.5, 7.3 seconds now, so that's probably more realistic. Because there you go, a lot of the LMGT3 field come in for their stops.
It's just about everyone. In fact, Semenga, Tyler Hammer, John Metcalf, Max Farrell, Offset Rosario, everyone except the top three, which consists of Christian Keesing, Ben Brown, and Johnny Ashley, and Donny into the pits.
Okay, so obviously a lot of them extending, as Kiesig as well. We know how much extra NRG he had coming, and just how much he can save. He does it across platforms. He can do it on Le Mans Ultimate, and he can do it on ACC as well. Just as master of saving. So should be able to run a little bit deeper into this race compared to what some of the others have been able to do, which should offer some sort of advantage in the long run. If not, well, he already had an advantage already, so he possibly it's just adding salt to the wounds for the rest of the LMGT3 field. But we'll come with currently following Max Farrell. Oh, and carve to the inside there. I think that's one of the loss of rear wing. I don't know if that's one of the. Is that Angela Scott? I keep running who's in the DKR engineering livery. I think it is, but I keep forgetting who's running in that livery. I thought it was. So, and that's not good because that's going to lose him a lot of places because as you can see, he has the nurse car and all spins in front of Nazarian. And luckily, it's keeping it parked there. It's going to spin around to the inside of the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight. But that's the thing; it's so tricky to drive these cars once they lose their aero, especially rear aero, because I mean it's really like someone's took all the weight off the rear end. And that's another one. Got a tank stapper on, and it's going to try and stop the car before they sit on the apex of the first corner after the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight. And that's a really awkward place to be stopped in. Actually, or retired.
I think it was a case of either DNF or you're worried about let's have a look and see what paid the Scotty's race there. She was fighting her way back through the field.
She was indeed.
Straight there. Goes up inside. I'm not sure whether there was contact there, but well, could have been, to be honest.
So, I mean, it was an awkward moment for both drivers, and yeah, obviously Angela had committed to the inside, and but the BMW wasn't quite aware, and it was a small gap, and it just looked a bit awkward between the pair of them. Just maybe a bit of a miscommunication for the both of them, as Anton Semenga, after formally getting ahead of Ashley seeming to have the pace. I love how it's the Porsche Center in the background. That's great. Sorry, but it seems to have the pace on Semenga at this latter part of the race. So obviously, as you mentioned, doesn't run in the Porsche very often. May even be the first time running in the Porsche. So this just could be them, just kind of as the race goes on, getting more and more comfortable with the car. Therefore, bringing the pace on more and more, and coming back at Anton Semenga.
If he hasn't stopped, he's definitely going to this time round, because it's showing us
I mean, that would be interesting, because obviously he's like on the timing screen, he's exactly where he should be in terms of people who have stops, and he's on the rear of Semenga, is ahead of Hammer and Metcalf. Actually, Metcalf having an interesting stop there. Has dropped all the way to 7th, so I don't know if we've missed something for Metcalf, but has really dropped away from these guys. So maybe just an alternate strategy. We'll see what Johnny does. Johnny stays out, so maybe I would assume that maybe that's a little glitch with our timing, because I mean, I assume he would just explode at this point or run out of energy.
He hasn't stopped now.
Oh, Anton Semenga off.
It's all just updates.
That looked really weird for Anton Semenga, because they were going around the corner 1 second and then straight lined off towards Colt. So I don't know if that's an out of sim world issue, maybe a disconnect of the wheel of some sort, because it just seems like 1 second they're just going through the corner, next the car just is spearing towards the outside tire. Well, you'll see it here. Just is in I actually know it's lost the rear and goes to correct it.
That's a big hit. That has put
Oh, such a shame as well. They've really done a great job of carving their way through Metcalf, Hammer, and Ashley, and that's rather gutting for Anton Semenga. Obviously had a great run last season in the Sunday League, as I mentioned. Finished second in the GT3 weekender, but it's not a great start to this season here at Silverstone for them. But we'll move away from that, and we'll come to Fran Dorich and Andy Hearn, who are making their way down the straight. They've also got Lewis just ahead in the BMW, and Hearn putting Dorich under a lot of pressure now as they go through Stowe and make their way up towards the new complex of this, well, not so new now, but the newer complex part of the Silverstone venue.
This was all the closest people on the track. Just under 8 seconds between them. Getting a little bit of that post-pit stop spray, I think. So, but Andy Hearn fighting hard there, wanting to get past that Mercedes. We've got to think Mercedes is probably going to be a smaller hole in the air than being
Yeah. They come into village now up towards the loop, and again, the BMW Lewis not too far ahead of this battle either, so this could again turn into a three-car fight potentially for 8th not overall in the LMGT3 class. So they're getting close to one another. It depends what this LMP2 does behind them and how quickly it maneuvers the way through, and if it gets in any of their ways, tries to go around the outside. That shouldn't get too much in the BMW's way. So yeah, through it goes. So we'll have to see if it catches any of the others out going up towards Cops Corner. But it looks like I'm going to assume that Zach Silver is going to or it's Stefan, is going to go to the, I think actually went to the inside in the end there, but the DKR engineering car to the inside, and it's not really got too much in the way. But again, this hasn't really benefited Hearn because now they got 1.3 seconds, so those LMP2s have really caught him in the wrong parts of the circuit. Has meant that he's been able to catch up slightly.
Both times they catch him in the big corner, and that's just back up enough to make it safe.
Yeah, and that is not particularly what he would want. The thing is, though, he has closed up again under a second now, 0.8 just before he came into the braking zone, and Elliot Lewis running at the head of this train of cars, but who will soon be under some pressure, actually, I think, from Dorich and Andy Hearn. So, well, he's also someone who had a good run in the Academy Series last season, finished second in the LMGT3s, and had 4 podiums, did Elliot Lewis, but it's obviously stayed with the LMGT3s, unlike actually no, it is in the LMGT3s as well as Metcalf, who won that class last season, but running just a little bit further back, actually a position between the pair of them, and actually it looks like that position gap could be going up, because it seems like Dorich really does have the legs on the BMW, and actually, well, that's not going to help though, running onto the grass. You can see they were going to be, Dorich really had a great run there until they tickle-toed onto the grass there, and it's meant that actually that gap's kind of plateaued as they came onto the straight there, and now as they come through Luffield again, it's the BMW just should have enough to keep them at bay for a little bit longer, but this is going to get interesting now because Dorich right up behind, but as soon as Dorich goes for a move, it is going to present an opportunity to Andy Hearn, who's right there as well. Is Dorich going to go to the inside or the outside into Cops? It looks like there's a move to the outside. He's going to try and switch back as they come up towards Maggots and Beckett. It's still the gap is bringing Andy Hearn into this. He's going to be right behind these guys, and actually a lot of curtain by the BMW there, really unsettled the car, but still the other BMW of Andy Hearn is going to look to the inside into Beckett's, now up towards Chapel. Really, it's anyone's game at this point. All 3 guys running at a similar sort of pace, and there's a move on for any position from 8th to 10th here. So as they make their way now down towards Stowe, there could be an opportunity for the MP2 to get in the way. That could present an opportunity for Dorich. It doesn't follow the MP2 through, and there'll be another one that's going to come past now as they go into Vale. I think that's going to hold up Andy Hearn more than the other 2. He's going to come into the braking zone just about all avoiding each other. Fran Dorich gets a great run though, and now as they come through the last part of Vale, he's going to sweep through down the inside. That was a great run, just the BMW was running a little bit wide, and yeah, just opened the door for the Mercedes of Dorich to just go through down the inside and got it done as nice as you want. And actually it could be an opportunity for Andy Hearn here as well, looking for it into Village. He's going to go to the inside, but just couldn't get alongside Elliot Lewis. But Lewis really struggling at this stage in the race. That seems to be it, but the other thing we've got to look at as well, Andy Hearn he was running quicker than Fran Dorich, and the thing is as well, he needs to dispatch of Elliot Lewis rather quickly if he wants a chance of getting an 8th place finish. So as they go through Cops, it's really with only a minute and 38 seconds, maybe their last time around, depending on where the LMP2 leader is. He needs to dispatch this BMW rather quickly if he wants any sort of chance of catching Dorich. And there you go, there's one of the LMP2s in the background. Is it going to favour Andy? I don't think it is. There's the LMP2 squeezes its way down the outside. That's going to push Andy offline ever so slightly, and it's going to mean that he doesn't have a run now on Elliot Lewis as they come onto the hangar straight. So as they make their way down there now, too far back to go for a move, and he really is running out of time, Ben.
Minute left, he's just coming on to start another lap here. So this will be the final lap. as soon as he goes across the line, Zach Silver just going to move somewhere and has dropped about 10 seconds. Drops that line, and again, this is just dropped behind Jacob Line. Let's have a quick look when it decides to go. And it's
Oh, there we are.
behind Frank Nevick there. Traffic goes up
Oh.
the yeah, just what went wrong for the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, I could. There was probably a little bit of space there, and oh gosh, nearly gets collected again by the Nielsen cars. But yeah, I think he knew there was a gap. There was kind of a little bit of an opening gap there, but maybe a little bit too eager to slip up the inside, especially when the Vivek and the other LM GT3 involved in that were already running too wide into what is Abbey, which can be quite an awkward corner to go around too wide, let alone 3 wide. So yeah, a little bit maybe jumping the gun there. But we'll come back to this man, James Cowley, who's well, he's done a great job at the front of this field. It's not, he didn't qualify on pole, but he's going to carry on how he left off last season's Sunday League with another victory. Now I think he'll be hoping for a similar result to try and secure another season championship. And today it's kind of just been about how consistent he's been. He hasn't made a mistake. That's really why he stayed at the front of this field. He's just been so consistent and hasn't locked up the tyres very much, and has just been absolutely perfect on race pace. So as he comes out the final corner, it's going to be a round 1 victory in the oNiD Le Mans series for James Cowley as he comes across the line to win round 1 of the championship. A great result there, as in the background there's one of Spikers come to a halt. I think may have just got across the line out of view. We'll have to wait and see. It looks like it's going to be Kiesig is going to come home in the LMGT3 class to take that victory. Zach Silver, I think, was the Spike car that had stopped. Jing Hein looking on for victory, second place, I mean, in the LMP2 class. Also, Christian Kiesig now still got half the lap to go, making their way around Stowe, but has done a great job of just managing this race. Obviously, save. Is he actually pitted yet? I don't know if we've seen that. I was going to say this is the strategy he had. Okay. I mean, we wouldn't expect anything different, would we? Because he's just magic. He just knows how to make the car last a little bit longer compared to everyone else, and well, that's why he dominates these races. He's quick, and sometimes when he's not the quickest at a venue, or he's a little bit off the pace, these little kind of saver strategies he does just pay off massively. And today he's had the pace and the strategic masterclass to pull this off. He's going to come home in a pretty dominant winning fashion in first place. He hasn't really had anyone to worry about since the start of the race. He already had a 2-second gap by the end of lap 1, I think. So it's really just been dominance by Christian Kiesig. And as he makes his way out of the final corner onto the old start-finish straight, it's going to be a victory for round 1 in the oNiD Le Mans series for Kiesig. A great Kiesig, what a great result for the Porsche driver. But I mean, as we said earlier, wouldn't expect anything else. Ben Brown home in second position, and Johnny Ashley in third. So good result for the pair of them there, as Bell rounds out the 4th place LMGT3 finisher. And I think with that, Cowley, Hein and Tomlinson running out the top 3 in the LMP2 class, that's it for the racing.
It is indeed. Just Christian Kiesig goes back to the pits, and let's see if I can get a result screen. I'm not confident.
We will see.
Right, let's go. I think that might have worked.
Oh, there we are. Right. Oh no.
No, that's practice. That's not helpful.
Well, there you go. There's Jazz Kovac was quickest in practice.
That did not help at all. Right.
But look, I can go again. Look, you can see the pits in the back pit stop. That's where you get your Gulf fuel. Oh, there we are. That's all right. It's okay. We've got there. You go. James Cowley is the winner. Jacob Hine comes home in second, and rounding out the podium, Dan Tomlinson in the end. Just all about consistency for those top three. Dan Steffens in fourth. Zach Silver ends up in fifth after that little spin. Alex Wood in sixth. Seventh has gone the way of Duza Carpenter. Eighth is Manny Steiner. Ninth is gone the way of Charlie Morgan, and rounding out the top 10, and you would have been hoping for more. Atal Baskar is in 10th position in our LMP2 class.
Right, there was me. I think we can go to the next page.
Then Jarrett Page in 11th, and Frank Vevic had a lot of spins in this race. Really struggled through the loop. Finishes in 12th. 13th has gone the way of Christian Kiesig. 14th goes the way of Ben Brown, and 15th is Johnny Ashley, and that is our top three in the LMGT3 class for the first round of the season. Tyler Hammer, after a little bit of mistake, finishes 4th, with 17th going the way of Max Farrell. Hovsep Nazarian is 18th, 19th has gone the way of John Metcalf, and 20th is Elliot Lewis, after he was running a little bit higher up, but as you saw was just struggling towards the end of that race.
Indeed. Andy Hearn follows up in 21st, with Frayne Doric bringing home the Mercedes in 22nd. Daniel Johansson brings it home 23rd overall. Petr Jelinek in 24th to come home 12th in class. Comes home by Dean Smith, credible 25th. Chris Bell in P26, and then we come on to our cars who unfortunately weren't able to get to the end tonight. Angela Scotti comes home, it's class P27, Johannes Muller in P28. Anton Semenga, after a really good race, unfortunately finishes in P29. Janos Kovacs in P30, and Marcos Pizzuti in P31.
Yeah, and well, that's it for the first round of the season. For DN, we will be heading off to the great circuit of Portimao, looking nice and sunny heading off there as well. So that'll be same time next week, October 27th. We'll be heading there, and well, hopefully it will be just as good.
Absolutely. I think I might have killed your audio slightly in the middle of there by changing to the whole screen, because I don't think I've added you onto there. Yeah, we will. Well, we got most of it. We will be back at Portimao, and it's a great opening to the season. And look forward to moving on to the next one.
Yeah, and well, it's been a great start to the season. Great racing from everyone. I'll just quickly have a look what's coming up for the rest of this season. So obviously, the 22nd, that you've got the Transatlantic Tour on ACC that's coming up. You've got the Club Challenge that starts on the 23rd of October 2025 on iRacing. Back in the game, that's our Sunday Assetto Corsa Competizione series that starts this Sunday as well. So you've got those three series to look forward to, and yeah, obviously still slots for you to join some of those series as well. The both the iRacing series have slots for you to join, and the Transatlantic Tour as well will also has some slots left for people to join up as well.
Yep, rest of the week we've got a couple of series, both still with slots available. Tomorrow night we're back in Assetto Corsa for the Audi TT Cup around Alton Park, which is going to be hilarious, with 3 15-minute races and a reverse grid. And Wednesday, the SimHound Academy is back, emulating the Le Mans Cup series with LMP3s and LMGT3s. So lots to get involved in. Still some places available in the LMP3 class for that, I believe. So if you hurry, you might be able to get involved in that one as well. So in the meantime, plenty to do here at oNiD. So we look forward to seeing you on track.
Yeah, and I think with that, that's where we're going to close off for today's stream. And, well, what a race it's been, and hopefully it'll be the same next week.
Well, indeed. And good night to everyone, and look forward to seeing you for the rest of the week.
See you later, everyone.